Imagine a group of people living together without any rules. It would be chaotic, like a playground without a referee. To prevent this chaos, people agree to create a referee with ultimate authority. This referee is the state. It is not just a government, it is a permanent geographic area that holds a monopoly on the legal use of physical force to maintain order, protect borders, and make laws. Historically, thinkers explain how this referee came to be through different lenses. Divine right theory: the state was created by God, and rulers were given authority by divine will. Force theory: one person or group forced everyone else in a territory to submit to their rule. Social contract theory: people voluntarily gave up some individual freedom to a sovereign power in exchange for safety and order. This is heavily backed by foundational political philosophy, like Thomas Hobbes' Leviathan and John Locke's Second Treatise of Government, both curated within the Project Gutenberg digital library. When looking at how states are structured today, they generally fall into three types. Unitary state: power is concentrated in one central government, example, the United Kingdom. Federal state: power is split between a central government and local states or provinces, example, the United States, India. Confederal state: a weak central body connects highly independent, sovereign states, example, the early United States under the Articles of Confederation. A democratic state is a system where the public owns the leader. A democratic administration is how the decisions are carried out day to day. If a democratic state decides to build a school, the democratic administration ensures it happens fairly. It means the public officials and bureaucrats cannot act like dictators, they must be transparent, follow the law, and listen to the people they serve. In academic literature, a democratic state relies on the separation of powers, legislative, executive, judiciary, to prevent tyranny. Democratic administration shifts the focus of public bureaucracy from rigid, top-down control to citizen-centric service. This evolved significantly through the new Public Service (NPS) framework, pioneered by scholars Janet and Robert Denhart. NPS said that administrators should serve, not steer, prioritizing public dialogue and civic engagement over treating citizens like mere customers. Think of the state as an overprotective parent who manages your allowances, cooks your meals, and tells you what to buy. Neoliberalism is an economic philosophy that says, let the kid grow up and handle things on their own. Instead of the state running airlines, electricity grids, or housing, neoliberalism concludes these should be handed over to private businesses. The state steps back, cuts taxes, removes strict business regulations, and lets the free market settle prices and services. This ideology gained global dominance in the late 20th century, championed by economists like Milton Friedman and implemented politically by figures like Margaret Thatcher in the UK and Ronald Reagan in the US. The core mechanisms of rolling back the state, privatization, selling state-owned enterprises, like rail or telecom, to private investors. Deregulation, removing government restrictions on industries to boost market competition. Fiscal austerity, cutting public spending on social safety nets like healthcare and welfare to reduce state debt. Government is the concrete institution. It is the physical building, the elected politicians, and the police force. It is the who. Governance is the process of steering. It is the act of managing, making decisions, and collaborating. It is the how. Imagine a boat. The government is the specific crew hired to row the boat. Governance is the entire system of navigation, which includes the crew, the map, the weather conditions, and the passengers working together to decide which way the boat should turn. In modern political science, the shift from government to governance signifies that the state is no longer the sole actor in charge of society. Instead, the state must network with non-state actors to solve complex public issues.